Hey, 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 guys. How's everyone doing? It has been one amazing week. Since the last time I have probably popped in and seen any of you guys, it has just been crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So, what do some of you guys have going on? I know for me, I am trying to get ahead of myself, which is probably not possible. As I always realize, I need a cloning machine to clone myself so that I can do more and get ahead of myself, which doesn't always happen. But right now, what's happening in this particular scheme of things, if you haven't noticed, depending on your business model and whatever else you've got going on, either you're moving this way or you're moving this way, meaning you're going forward or you're going backwards. And why is that? Is that if you guys look at everything that's happening around you, and so I don't know everyone who's on the call, or who's listening, or who will be looking at this, but you have to be a change agent and work as a change agent in this market right now. And so, what do I mean by that? Meaning, if you did not see last year that we'd be right here and that you had to shift and change some of your business practices or look at your business differently, or for some folks, hang it up. Like some of you are in business spaces that they're never going to be profitable for a variety of reasons. And I'm just going to be honest with you guys. Some of you are in spaces that there are already too many people in that space. And no matter what you do, I don't care if you hustle harder than them or any of those kind of things. You're just, that space is just, it's too much. It's too many people. So you're not in an industry that is going to allow for you with limited resources and all these other things. And because so many of you refuse to just focus on that one thing, that you trying to get into a space where it's already overpopulated won't allow you to really be where you want to be, even within a year or two. And so that's why I always tell folks to look at your business models and your business plans and really decide, is that where you need to put your energy in? And so a lot of people will choose to um, say, well, I'm not going to do this anymore because I'm not making money at it, and jump to something else without doing the research, without being strategic, without finding out what's going on in that market before they jump over there and do it. And so what that then does is that pretty much waters down the next business venture as well. And so if you are, for example, someone told me, one of my agents inboxed me and she's like, oh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And I'm going, okay, so you're going to do 7 different things now. So when do you have time to create true marketing plans for seven different people, end users? Well, I don't really have time to do it. So if you don't have time to sit down and really work on a marketing strategy for 2 things, how are you going to work on a really in sync marketing strategy that will bring you enough monies to really, not for you just to be okay. See, this is what I'm talking about, guys. I'm not talking about the folks who just want to be okay, where you just want to make $20,000 and that's cool for you. I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking to the people who are saying, hey, I want to build this business so I can retire. I want to build this business so I can have a lifestyle that I want to, I want to travel when I want to travel. I want to buy my kids a car. I want to take my grandkids on Disney cruises without putting all that stuff on my credit cards and being broke for the next, or paying for it for 20 years. It's impossible. That's right. So stop it. Just stop it. If something is not working in your business, take the time to figure out what it is. A lot of times it may not even be the business. And so some of you who I worked with, a lot of you are finishing up your one-on-ones and things like that. It's a lot of times it's not the business that's the issue, it's you. Some of you refuse. Some of you are just not in a space where you're coachable. Some of you are not in a space where you want to hear certain things, like this is not the space for you, or that you can't do and run 8 businesses. And I'll tell you guys, you can't run 5 and 6 businesses and do them successfully. You just can't. So you'll be mediocre, if that at best. So you'll be spending money in 5 businesses to get them up and going, instead of focusing on the one business and getting it operating and making you money before you go to the second business. But some of you refuse to do that. And so what'll happen is, in a year from now, 2 years from now, you'll be in the same space, having spent a lot of money and then complaining that it's the business or it's something else, when in actuality, it's you. Because you being in a space to not sit still long enough to say, the industry I'm in right now, let me sit down long enough and see where it's going. What are they going to be doing? What's going to be happening? How do I position myself to get ready for this space? So when I look at, I'm going to use an example. I look at the ladies and some of the folks who are going in through, they're saying, hey, I want to be a real estate agent. And slowing them down long enough to say, well, what is your niche going to be in real estate, in that side of the business? Well, I just want to help people buy a house. Okay. Well, what kind of people? Who do those people, what do those people look like? Are they buying investment properties? Are they buying commercial properties? Are they buying single family houses? And if they're buying single family houses, then what's the price point that you're looking at? And so many people have not stopped, looked at that, and said, oh, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. Because check it out, guys. For the people who are deciding they're going to go and get a real estate license right now, the people you're talking to are normally brokers who are reading from scripts, and they have to have so many people in their office to pay their overhead. Okay. So if you go into an office right now and they tell you this is a good time for you to get into real estate market as an agent and those kind of things, they're probably lying, because it's not a good time for people to get into a market unless they have resources that are going to take care of them for several months. Right now, our entire market for real estate, if you're looking at, if you're in any sort of business in real estate, we are in a 40%, we have less inventory, 40% less inventory. So if you are a new agent coming in, not only do you have to know MLS, not only do you have to know how to put contracts together, you got to know how to hunt, you have to know how to go get leads, you have to know how to show. And then on top of that, you have to have top-notch negotiating skills right now because of the number of offers. So a new agent coming into the business right now, how are they going to do all of that and get to that level where they're able to compete with the experienced agents within this next few months? So that's the kind of stuff that I'm saying, that when people jump in, when you guys are jumping into any kind of business, you have to slow down long enough and research the industry, research the business, find out who's doing it, see if you can get coached by them or mentored by them or something before you jump into that market. Because the one thing about coaching and mentorship and things like that is that you're getting into that space so that you can be moved to the front of the line, so that you can get tools that push you forward, so that you're not starting from ground zero. So I will tell you guys again, if you do not have the resources to get into any business that you have now time to read, research, and all of those kind of things that puts you to a top level in that space right now, it's not a good time. And not everybody can or should run their own companies. It's okay to go work for somebody else. Some folks don't have what it's going to take to withstand some of this other stuff. And again, don't get me wrong, but I've been hearing too many people starting now because the market is not where they need it to be for real estate agents, that now they're starting to, well, I'm going to do this other thing and I'm going to add on these other services. Guys, if another person inboxes me and asks me, do I have a lender, a credit repair person, or whatever, I've had a credit repair people who are licensed and insured for the last 15 years. I don't need any more credit repair people. That is a market that is saturated. So if you're not going to give 120% into that space and really understand how this works, I'm not talking about throwing them into a system and then letting the system deal with the folks. I'm talking about having a person who's really sitting down and doing this. Then spend your time in finding the inventory that's on the ground, because there isn't any inventory. So if there isn't any inventory and you can be the person that's connecting people to the inventory, then that's where your money is going to be made. Not then stopping what you're doing. Now I'm going to go be a notary. Then I'm going to be a credit repair person. And then on top of that, I'm going to do something else. I'm do something else. It's not a good use of your time. You just don't have that kind of time to do all of those kind of things. When in actuality, as I'm sitting there today and I'm looking at properties and I'm going, well, isn't this cute? Here are 8 properties right here in this particular pool that agents aren't paying attention to. Why? Because they are over there trying to find something else to do. They're not being strategic. They're not looking at what's happening in the market. So that's just talking about real estate agents, guys. Now, whatever business you're in, if you're in insurance business, this is the time to look at what's going on in the market, where things are lining up, where funds are happening. Like right now, there is grant money for everything. Grant money for housing, grant money for down payment assistance, grant money for foreclosures, grant money for business startups, and grant money for just all kinds of things. And then there are resources and free trainings and all kind of things that you can find online. If you're not spending the time to elevate your education right now so that you're in position to not be in a space, guys, here's the key. You want to be in a space that you don't have a job. If you got into business and your business can't run without you taking a break, then you don't really have a true operating business. You inherited yourself a job, pretty much. So if you have any kind of job, any kind of career, and you can't take a break and you can't go off for a week, then trust me, you have inherited a job. And whenever it starts to feel like a job, your role in this, guys, is to change that and create processes and policies and procedures and put things in place so that you are not the job, or the job is not running you. As the business owner, it should not run you and pretty much get you in a space where if you get hurt, if you get sick, or any of those kind of things. So here we are in January. We're headed into the new year. And some of us needed to make some changes to our business. We needed to be change agents for our business. Did we do enough of that during the holiday time? Did we do enough strategic planning? Did we do enough to be ready to be those change agents within our own business? I don't know. I can only tell you the people who I worked with, what they were doing. I don't know what the masses or the bigger folks were doing or whatever it is. But now is the time to look at everything you're doing and decide on where you need to be and being that change agent for your own operation, your own company, your own everything. Now, I will tell folks now, if folks are trying to inbox me and all that kind of stuff, I brought on a new assistant. So that's why you haven't seen me as much, is because when I sat back and looked at where I needed to be and looked at my stuff as a change agent, my roles have changed. I'm no longer going to hold people's hands and say, well, if I give you the tools that you need and you don't bring them back, I'm not going to come chasing you looking for them. I'm going to go on to the next thing I have to do. And so yesterday, actually, last night, so you guys know I work and be up at 3 a.m. hanging out or whatever. And I looked and I said, wow, I've got 5 to 6 people who I've set agreements with or contracts with or said, hey, I'm going to do these things. And I've been holding up my end and they're not holding up their end. And guess what's about to happen this week? We're going to have to let some folks go because I can't chase people to do business. They have to step up and they have to be ready to move. And I get it, guys. I told folks before, it's going to be this time that we're going to feel crazy. COVID crazy is what I was calling it. But by now, people should have adjusted. They already knew the government wasn't going to come and save them. And they should have their plans in place to move through this year. Either people are going to survive, be in survival mode again, or they're going to be thriving this year. And so I've got to roll with the folks who are thriving because the survival mode folks, they wear you out. So you guys have to be a part of that change of whatever's going on in your own space, your own lives, to make sure you're your own change agent for your own business. Okay. So other than that, that's what I've got going on. This is my last I've got I think I hit the road one of these days. And then that's it. Then it is full speed ahead. And that's why if you guys don't catch me, and you're looking for me, and I'll be like, talk to one of the assistants. You have access to both of them in the groups. Contact them first. Don't go to my inbox because in my inbox you may not ever hear back from me because there are projects and people and folks who are making billions of dollars in this time, and I want to align myself with those people. So I'm going to run and be in those spaces and work with the folks who are within the groups and coaching programs and things like that, because those are the folks who are at that point ready to rock and roll. So what else do you guys have going on? Someone says, important for new agents to get themselves a mentor. I have my new agent shadow me. I can't tell who that is, but that's awesome because new agents, please understand that this is an ongoing thing. Some people don't even start making the business that they want to make in real estate if you're a real estate agent for like 2 years, because you have to understand that the people who you start working with are normally immediately your circle of influence. So if your circle of influence is, let's say, people who you worked with, well, those folks, some of them may be looking for a house, but if they've already gotten a house, it's not, real estate is not like selling shoes where people constantly need shoes. People don't constantly need their homes, though some people already have their homes. So you have to constantly be learning, lead generating, all of these things at the same time. And I tell you, the market that we were in 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it is not the same market. So MLS looks different. You've got other people into our markets like Zillow and what Realtor.com is doing. And so you've got all the politics that are happening in real estate as well. And there are a lot of things that can distract you in the real estate market and keep you from focusing on sales. So you have all these associations and all these other things. Everybody wants you to volunteer and you're spending all your time doing that. And you look up and it's like, I didn't make the money I wanted to make. I wonder why. Because you were you know, at your group meetings instead of hustling up and knocking on doors to, you're truly in sales and sales at a whole different level. One says you can't be a babysitter and expect your own business to flourish. No. And you've got to be working. And here's a key thing, guys. You got to be working on your business. So many times people are working in the business. Like every time I turn around, there's like, oh, I'm showing a house, I'm showing a house, I'm showing a house. Da, da, da. Okay, so when did you stop to be strategic, to look down the road and say, okay, well, I have to do this differently or this differently? Because some people are not slowing down to even look at their business from that space. So I asked, I had a new client come in this week, had a meeting with them last week actually. And I asked them and I said, well, what do you plan on doing with this business at the end? And they're like, huh? We don't have any long term goals. I'm like, well, let me give you some information. You go back and do your homework because I don't work with people who don't have long and short term goals. Like, where are we going with the business? Is it just to make money for today? Like, I don't work that way. So let me find you somebody else. I'm quick to tell folks, I will find you somebody else who works short term stuff. I don't do short term because retirement is not tied to short term. When you want to get to those millions, that's not short term. That's little money. That's I'm gonna get a car. I'm gonna go on vacation. I'm gonna stunt. That's little money. I'm talking about long term building wealth kind of money. You do long term building wealth. You do that through business and investments. You don't do that through jobs. Okay, and little short things. So, guys, what else you got going on? That's right, working on your business. That's right. That's right. That's right. Hey, Latoya, how you doing? On the West Coast time. Nope. Whoever said trying, get that out of there. No such thing as trying, guys. You're either doing it or you're not. So we are building wealth. No, we're not trying, guys. We either are doing it or we're not. So I want anybody, if you ever hear me say that, I'll be like, no, there's no trying. We're doing it. We're building wealth. We're building wealth. Period. So that may mean 10 years from now, 5 years from now, whatever. But make sure you guys are understanding that you are having to be the change agent within your circle, within your business, and being able to forecast and look ahead to be able to do that. Okay? That's right. We're building wealth. We are building wealth. Okay, guys? Got it? Got it. So other than that, guys, what I have going on this week, we launched today the Compass investment mentoring program. So that is happening today, and I've got travel this week and travel next week and all kinds of good stuff that's happening there. So by the time I see you guys again next week, we'll have a whole bunch of different updates of what we're doing, what's going on, and those kinds of things. And I have a few special guests that are coming up for Talk to Tameka, but I can't put them out there just yet until they sign their agreements and we know that they will be here on the days that they are saying they're going to be here. So, in case you guys haven't noticed, I'm cracking down on folks who are saying, I'm going to do this, and then they back out or, they start backpedaling. I don't have time for it. It makes me insane. And folks are definitely running around here insane. So, I will see you guys later. I've got to get set up for my next meeting. And understand that, again, guys, if you see me start posting about change agents, sometimes I may be talking to you. You have to be the change agent in your business. You are the change agent. If something is not going as planned, it's up to you to make that change. It's up to you to steer the direction of your business in another way that makes sense. You are the change agent. Do not look for management or another person or somebody else to tell you what you need to do in your own business. You are the change agent. So you guys have to dig in deeper, have to do this part of it because it is your business. Don't get sucked in that you're an independent contractor. Some of you who are in that space, working as an employee. If you're waiting for somebody else to tell you what to do when you're the independent contractor, you it's never going to go well. It's your business. So only you have the blueprint to your own business. Only you have the blueprint for where you want to go and where you want to be and the lifestyle you want to live. Someone else does not have that blueprint for you. Okay? So, again, guys, you be the change agent for your business, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye bye.